This is called the Valhalla Murders. It focuses on the grisly death of a man and a drug addict. Now, to be fair, at the time of his death, he was peeing in a river, and that I would be tempted to kill someone if I saw somebody do that. He is brutally stabbed, and as a bit of a calling card, the killer gouges out their eyes as well. This lands on the desk of Katrine, or Katia, as she's known here. She is a no-nonsense copper.
I think it's just Qatar,
Qatar, yeah.
K-A-T-I.
And she is a no-nonsense cop. She believes she's up for promotion, which later in the first episode she loses to another woman who hasn't been there as long. And she feels very let down by that. She's divorced from her son's father. Her son is a teenager and is a bit of a wayward. His father accuses him of taking liquor from the cupboard and things like that. And so there's a bit of a bad teenage son trope that we've not seen
and the
before.
dad has got this new sort of sneering partner.
Yes, and the police are wary of talking too much about this death, especially when a second victim is found, a wealthy banker whose wife is recovering from surgery and so is bedbound. She hears a noise in the house. She sends him down to investigate, and woe and betide, he ends up murdered as well, with the same eye gouging, meaning there is a serial killer. For some reason, the Icelandic police are nervous to make the connection and try and muzzle her, and there's an awkward press conference where the journalists know more than the police would like them to know, as the inclusion then of Qatar gets a policeman from Oslo come in.
The Norwegians are coming, aren't they?
Yeah. So the key thing here is also a sequence that most people, even if you saw it, may have missed, is that when this first victim is on the slab in the autopsy room, there's also discussion of a skull that's been found of a young boy from years ago that the police are also working on. And in the second episode that Matt didn't get the chance to watch, we find out that Thor, the man who was peeing in the river and first to die, and the banker worked at this Valhalla home, hence Valhalla Murders, for young boys, and they go and visit there, and there's another gruesome murder. So it's a serial killer out for revenge. Presumably it's all going to link back to that skull that they found, and it's quite a to B to C story, really. It's a very generic, normal piece of crime drama. It doesn't have that thing that I admire about foreign dramas, where there's loads of extraneous characters that you don't understand how they fit, and they all come into play in some clever way towards the middle or the end of the story. This is very much, and I've seen the first double bill, very much police investigating murder at this home. At the end of the day, it is a perfectly acceptable but not overly exciting piece of crime drama that doesn't feel, for me, overly original, and feels at this stage quite predictable. I got to the end of the second one, I didn't feel compelled. I liked her, but not enough. You know, I'd seen variations of that character before, and there was nothing in either her work life or personal life that was particularly interesting. The new detective they bring in from Oslo has a sort of Saga Norren trait to him, where he's very straight-laced. He's got a background from the town that they're in, and has this father in a nursing home. But for me, there was just nothing there. You've said it before. There's just nothing there to keep me coming back. And I wouldn't say I disliked it. I was ambivalent to it. I was sort of numb to it. It felt very much like something I'd seen before, but done not to the same standard. And I think you agree.
Well, you're right.
No,
for me, the only intriguing element of this for me was that this was entrapped as well. Was almost like the politics of it, basically. The political aspect. I was trying to say a word and then realised it wasn't a word.
Often happens.
I mean, I think we both guessed that she wouldn't be getting this promotion because they kept going on about it so much that, it's someone else is going to be promoted, and they mentioned that this woman, she'd only recently joined the team and had been put there by I don't know if it was the police chief or someone higher, for political reasons, and that's why she got the job. The Kata said that, you know, she thought was hers because she'd been there so long, she knew everyone, what have you. I think the reason that they were trying to cover up that this was a serial killing was for similar political reasons, and you know, there was that political aspect to Trapped as well that I liked. But you know, you're right, this isn't anything that we haven't seen before from these Scandi dramas. You know, this is a female police officer. She's a divorced single mom whose partner has moved on. She's sort of married to her job. She's quite forthright, but there are those insecurities there as well. And obviously, from what you're saying to me, you've got the very meticulous partner as well. But yeah, I mean, this did feel like very by the numbers
Yeah,
Scandi noir, which some people like on, you know, on their
absolutely.
Saturday nights.
I
That sort of
spoke to
counter
Paul
program.
Hirons from the Killing Times because we both loved DNA, and I said I've watched 2 of these Valhalla Murders. What are you thinking? And I said, well, I said what I just said to you. It feels very not original, paint by numbers. And he said, like you just said, that he likes it for that reason. He likes the patterns and things.
Familiarity.
That yes, it doesn't help that I came off DNA, which to me was such an original story and so blooming clever. I wish more people had watched that, and I wish we'd championed it more at the. Well, I wish I hadn't seen it all, but I wish we championed
You
it
wish
more
you
at the
hadn't had
time.
that cold.
Yes, basically is the. Well, I do wish that for many reasons, but I'm
But
glad.
what I suppose what I would say is, you know, that tradition of having foreign drama in that 9 p.m. slot on BBC Four has been running for so many years now that some
Yeah,
people are just, you know, that is routine, that they will watch whatever is in that. And certainly with Paul, who sort of runs his website around that, will
yeah,
be watching all of this and will have almost a love of these dramas where, you
yeah,
know, some people love Strictly or
yeah.
DIY SOS,
And
you know, some
and I
people
think
like
there's this one just for me didn't have anything in the 2 hours I spent with it or just under that I thought yes I'm hooked to this.